If a gift you must choose, give him one he'll like to use. Burma-Shave, famous for their brushless shaving creams. And yet here we are, a hard puck of soap. Hello again, Michael Friedberg here from beautiful North Carolina, and today I have but one product for review, an unexpected product. It is a hard puck of soap from Burma-Shave. Famous, of course, for their brushless shaving creams, and this is the furthest thing from a brushless shaving cream. It is a hard puck of soap that you use a brush on, so unexpected. This is going to be classified lightly as a vintage soap. This, I think, was started to be released or made in the late 90s, 1997 or something like that. I can find no specific information at all about the ingredients of the soap. I've asked, as you can see, the current owner or the producer was Persona. I've requested information about this soap and received nothing back yet. Now, this is, I think, part of a gift set that they sold that included a brush, a mug, and these pucks of soap. And on the front, you can see what Burma-Shave was obviously so famous for in terms of their highway signage. The kind of a cool little rhyming piece there. So let me just show you what the puck of soap looks like. It is a light tan brown color. It said Burma-Shave imprinted on the front there, but of course that's worn off in the meantime. Let me just press that puck back into the bowl so it doesn't come tottering out. It has what can only be described as a light, tiny bit of perfume left, but originally when I took it out of the box, it smelled basically musty and stale because I think it's been in the box unused, well, obviously maybe since the late 90s, early 2000s, so a while. This came as a gift along with a sample of the vintage Colgate soap. This is an unexpected addition. I'd never really seen this or heard about this or ever. I think there's maybe one or two reviews on YouTube for the soap. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just use it per normal, just so you can see how it goes. Today's razor is going to be the Gillette Ball End Tech, and I have a different blade in there today, one I had not used before this week. It is the Gillette Shoot and Score Goal. It has on the inside of the package a rather intriguing looking picture of another Gillette Goal razor, which is a flip top razor, snaps together, looks like. I'm going to see if I can try to find one of these perhaps and see how well that goes. All right, the brush for today, keeping within vintage theme, is the restored Ever Ready 200. Sadly, just not enough texture left there to be able to leave the lettering in place, but it is an Ever Ready 200. So let me go ahead and wet my face and we'll go ahead and get the shave started. Yeah, the soap is not what Burma-Shave was known for, obviously. It is completely the opposite of what they used to produce. But still, you never know how it's going to turn out. So, synthetic brush, hard puck of soap, and what I normally do for those is a dry brush. So you can always add water a little bit. So has all the water shaken out. I've just warmed it through in the sink, and I'm going to show you what happens as soon as you begin to lather. Remember, dry brush. So you can see how quickly a very foamy, kind of bubbly lather begins to build. And you can see how much is already forming on the sides. A very dry brush. I'm going to just add a touch of water to the top there. Now, the first day this happened, you can imagine what happened to my sense of optimism and belief in the future. Well, my heart sank a little bit because this looks like a very foamy and not much of a lather to speak of, but it's already more lather than I got off a modern puck of Williams. So I was like, well, okay, maybe it'll be, a step up from that. Well, I'm going to keep loading the brush and you'll just see what happens. A lot of foamy, bubbly lather, which generally speaking, not a great sign of things to come, but you can also see it's holding together pretty well. So, well, all right, that has some promise. So I'm going to scoop as much of that out as I can. A little shaky, can still be a little airy and foamy at the bottom, but let's see what we get. Yeah, day one, Monday morning shave, and I just thought, well, this is going to be a week of some pretty unpleasant shaves because this soap, based just on that initial load, looks like it's going to be not good. So very dry still. But as you can see, that lather is holding together better than you might think, given sort of how airy it was to begin with. I'm going to drip just a little bit of water on there. And as soon as you start adding water, it starts to knock down that airiness and begins to form what I would call a true lather instead of a kind of a foamy aerated lather. And it already starts to feel a lot slicker on the face than it did in that first pass. Still pretty dry. You can hear it when the brush moves through it. Just doesn't sound hydrated enough. But you can see it's building up quite a bit of lather. So I'm just going to pull that off. I'm just going to drip a bit more water onto the face of the brush and let's work that in. And if you're wondering, no, none of it has fallen in the sink yet, which is itself a good... Really? Okay. There we go. So now that is starting to look a lot better. And it also feels a lot better. It feels a lot denser. It's got a nice creaminess to it. I loaded pretty heavily, so I'm going to add just another touch of water. Yeah, there is a mountain of lather forming at the bottom of the handle there, you can see. All right, now look how far that's come from that first application. So sometimes it's best not to give up so quickly. All right, oh, pull that off my shirt. Not tasty. All right, here we go. The Gillette Gold Blade. So, never used it before, not really see much about it. And a very interesting experience on day one. This is the second shave on this second blade in the rotation. This is the second one I've used of these. My first impression, this is a mild razor, was this was a surprisingly smooth and relatively sharp blade. And I would say it feels smoother than sharp. No issue going through 2 days of growth. And the soap, a very nice slickness to it. No scent really to speak of. When I first opened the box, it had kind of that musty old book kind of smell to it. But if you work that lather and don't give up immediately because it looks so frothy and foamy, actually quite a nice soap. Yeah, so for the blades, it's really interesting what happened. First shave, smooth and sharp. Second shave, smooth and definitely less sharp. By the third shave, noticeably less sharp, but still oddly smooth. And if you're wondering what happened during the fourth shave, not sharp and really not as smooth. So there was like 2 very good shaves, a pretty good shave, and then by the fourth shave, now definitely time to be done. Okay, now rinsing off the soap, a very strong residual slickness. And to me, although I don't know what's in the soap, that slickness, that residual slickness, That feels like a tallow soap to me, and I would not be surprised at all if this is in fact a tallow soap. No idea who made this for Persona. But I have written them or contacted them through the contact us option on their website, but nothing back yet. It is a bit of a weird mix, obviously. Burma-Shave, so clearly well known for its brushless creams, and then they ended up selling a kind of a commemorative set of a mug, a brush, and this puck of soap. There are no ingredients listed. You know, it's obviously a bit of a sort of plain packaging. There is one really interesting comment on the package, which I really didn't expect to see. Let me just see if I can. It's just on the side here. It says, environmentally correct, satisfaction guaranteed. I don't know what environmentally correct really means as I drop that box in the sink. I'm sure it's waterproof. But it's always heartening to know. All right, this is going to be the across the grain pass. Yeah, residual soap on my hands, by the way, is very slick. Oh, that almost went horribly wrong. Yeah, so if you can find this and you are considering purchasing a puck of Modern Williams or a puck of this Burma-Shave, let me tell you, you should buy the Burma-Shave. No issues building a lather. No weird dissipation. No weird having to prep the puck with hot water and then orient it north-south and apply magnets to it. Lathering only with deionized and demagnetized water. Just a bit of trolling for the Williams people. All right, mustache. Surprisingly good combination of this blade and this razor, by the way, even though they're both kind of mild. End result is a very comfortable and very easy shave. And add to that the very pleasant surprise how much better the soap is than I expected it to be. Very nice. All right, one more round. Let me just try to get some of the soap off the handle of the brush, or it is in danger of falling. As you can see, plenty of soap in there for a third lather. We're not going to get the same volume out of it, but that's really not necessary. You just need a good slick layer. Good feel in the skin though. I haven't gone looking for these pucks on something like eBay or any place else to see if they're readily available or not, but I imagine they were only sold for a relatively short period of time. I don't know if the pucks were sold separately from the kits, but obviously still some out there. All right, final pass against the grain. Let me just wipe my hands off. All right, there we go. Yeah, for as mild as this razor is, I know it gets overlooked by some because it is so mild. I think that's a mistake. On the other hand, I have had one shave this week where I could honestly say the combination too mild, and that was on the 4th day with that blade. just part of the hair under my chin was a little difficult. There we go. Took a bit of extra work, but easily done. And in fact, what you may find is that rather than a third pass with a lot of buffing, you might well be better off with a normal third pass. And a quick touch-up. And I'm just shaving in the same pattern down here again, just so people can see. Because that skin is a little bit irritated, I can feel that it's a little sensitive, more sensitive than usual. I don't push it, and I just shave in the same way. It's still a very good close shave. If I don't think it's close enough, I may go over it again, but in the same direction. I'm not going to try to irritate it. Not every shave has to be a shave for the ages. And there's no rule that the 3-pass shave has to be 3 different passes. There we go. There we go. Nice. All right, done. Now, rinse off. Like I said, this is recalcitrant rinsing. Hard to get it off. Very, very nice residual slickness. There we go. A lot less soap in my ear this time. Not a bad thing. All right, let's towel off gently. And I'm going to have to wet my face again because the post-shave salve for today is going to be the Chatillon Lux, the yuzu, rose, and patchouli. And the reason I'm going for that post-shave balm, I'm going to wet my face in a second. This is the post-shave balm, is because this soap is what I would describe as profoundly drying. So like in a minute or so, my skin is going to be very tight and very dry, and it'll hurt a little bit to move my mouth from side to side. And that's kind of one of the tests. You can get an immediate feel for, okay, if I just let this sit, how tight is it going to be? And I could already feel, even though there's a tiny bit left of the residual slickness, fundamentally, it is very dry. All right, I'm just going to take just a touch of water. I'm just going to re-wet my face a little bit, just so that it's damp, because you really want to apply that post-shave salve when it's damp. And you have two options. You can sort of put it on your face just in spots and then rub it in, or you can put it on your hands and apply it that way. I'm going to scoop out about a full fingernail's worth, something like that. We just put that in the palm of my hands. I'm going to rub it in and just warm it up a little bit and then apply it. Try to get that off my finger. There we go. Yeah, I really, really like the scent on this. The rose is incredibly well done. There's the yuzu underneath it. The patchouli doesn't really come to the front for me at all. But that scent combination in and of itself is just fantastic, and it lasts. It's got a good longevity to it. And the way that the salve goes in and on, it leaves a very nice, kind of slick, buttery feel. And that lasts for quite a while as well. Now you can, of course, apply this to a dry face, but I think you'll find it kind of unpleasant to work in. Slightly damp, warm your hands, and just Work it in. Yeah, absolutely lovely, lovely stuff. Now, I don't know if this is still being made in the variety of scents that you could buy from Chatillon Lux. I think that the salve may only be available in one or two sort of more basic scents, which is fine as long as the salve is still available, because it is really, really nice stuff. Again, you know, it's one of those things you just keep saying week after week, but it's true. You really have an embarrassment of riches to pick from. Oh, wow. Okay, well, not too shabby for a soap that I thought was going to be a disaster on Monday. It turns out to be actually a real delight to use. So let's run through those products again. Today's only new product. Uh-oh, that box got a little more wet than I expected. Oh well. Burma-Shave. This is the scented shaving soap. Well, if by scented you mean slightly musty and old smelling because it's been a long time since it got used, that's a different story. It apparently had a very light perfume, like a kind of a cologne style scent. This is the Heart Pucker soap, completely contrary to their original product. A very nice soap, in fact, certainly compared to what I was expecting. Very nice lather, starts off very frothy, but easily gets worked into a creamy, dense, slick lather. Protection is pretty good, slickness is very good. Post-shave, frankly, is terrible. It is incredibly drying. You will have to use some kind of product after this. Thank you so much for the person on Reddit who passed this on to me along with the Colgate shaving soap sample. Really appreciate it. It was a real treat to give this a try. I don't know that I would have found it on my own, so thank you very, very much for that. The razor for today is the Gillette Ball & Tech with a Gillette Gold blade in there. Let me just show you that wrapper again. Very good. Actually, really quite usable in there. But again, good, good, not so good, done. You know, that's not a blade I would continue to push by any stretch. Continue with the vintage theme, a restored Ever Ready 200 with a tuxedo knot in there. That knot was a perfect match for that hard soap, by the way. Made it just so easy to lather. Let me just show you the soap in the bowl again, so you can see. Just wave goodbye to it. You may literally never see it again. And then to close it all out, let me put the cap on there so it is sealed for its own protection. The Chatillon Lux Yuzu Rose and Patchouli Post-Shave Salve. Fantastic stuff, and 100% the perfect antidote to the dryness caused by that vintage puck of Burma-Shave soap. Whew! All right, my friends, that is it. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Appreciate the time you're taking to watch these videos. Of course, as always, please feel free to leave questions or comments against this video or any previous video. I'll try to get back to those as quick as I can. Otherwise, thank you again so much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.